philosopher J.P. Moreland explains the genetic fallacy as follows. This fallacy occurs when someone confuses the origin genesis of an idea with the reasons for believing the idea and faults the idea, because of where it came from. For example, because of who said it, or how the idea first came to be believed, and not because of the adequacy of the grounds for the idea. Another example, consider this argument said by a critic of objective moral truth. You learn about right and wrong from your parents, so your beliefs about the reality of right and wrong should be dismissed. In reply, let us say it is true that I learn about right and wrong from my parents. We should notice, however, that from this truth it does not follow logically that what I learned should be dismissed as false. My parents also taught me that Austin is the capital city of Texas, that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius under normal atmospheric conditions, that the Holocaust happened, and that 2 + 2 = 4. Surely, whether we should think that a belief is true depends on whether there are good reasons for believing it, not merely on where or from whom it was learned. C.S. Lewis writes the following as a general reply to those who are inclined to commit the genetic fallacy. Lewis had in mind the Marxists and Freudians of his time. You must show that a man is wrong, before you start explaining why he is wrong. This modern method of argumentation is to assume without discussion that he is wrong, and then distract his attention from this the only real issue by busily explaining how he became so silly. Another form of genetic fallacy is attempting to endorse or disqualify a claim, because of the origin or irrelevant history of the claim. An example would be the following: the Nazi regime developed the Volkswagen Beetle. Therefore, you should not buy a Volkswagen Beetle, because of who started it. Now back to our original question with the atheist using the genetic fallacy, we could simply reply with a response like this. Well, if you were born in Saudi Arabia, or Pakistan, you would probably not be an atheist. And if you were an atheist, and open about it, in Saudi Arabia or Pakistan we would likely find you disposed in a ditch somewhere. The door swings both ways. We could also respond with a, so what? How does it have any bearing on the truth of the Christian message? It has none, and is devoid of any contention. In this video, the atheist Penn Jillette talks about raising an atheist family.
Well, with the kids, it's really tough. Just the other day, my daughter just turned 5, She was playing with her cousins. And one of the cousins came to my wife and said, Moxie said God is mean. Moxie, that's my daughter, did not say God is mean. She said there is no God. One of the older children said, oh my God. And she said, you shouldn't say that because there is no God. She's cobbled together, you shouldn't say that from school with there is no God from us.
This is very interesting, for this gives evidence that atheists, or at least one atheist for that matter, but I am sure other children are atheists, because they were indoctrinated by their parents into accepting the notion that there is no God. If the fact that Christians teach their children Christianity disproves Christianity, then the fact that atheists teach their children atheism disproves atheism. Which it does not. If anything, this shows the ultimate self-destruction of the argument.